day 159 of a screenwriter's journey. How many times am I going to start this journey over? Not literally, but it seems like every time I open a new day, I'm back on page 5 or 6 or something. I don't know if I mentioned before, but this Movie Magic Screenwriter software, which I've used for, wow, I bet 15 years at least, I bet, something like that. I really like it. I mean, I know it's not the industry standard because it's not Final Draft, but works fine for me. What I was going to say is sometimes it puts an asterisk out in the right margin, and I've never been able to figure out why. I saw one at the bottom of page 5. So if anyone out there knows why, leave a comment. After you subscribe, turn on notifications, like the video, subscribe. Oh, I said that already. All right, let's see. Everything you thought it would be. So just trying to rework this conversation to make it apparent why Holly was on this to begin with. And Paul's just given her the reason, aka the audience, the reason. For everyone. So, so that is how you condense dialogue. All right, so I kind of like this. All right, so I'm just... all right, so that scene is getting pretty good. It is for you. Challenge. Follow my advice. Because that's, I mean, that's kind of how Paul, father, uncle type thing. If you hear some noise in the background, it's something going on in the kitchen. This is how long before my mom gets here. So that didn't change substantially. There we go, 12 years later. BC guy. Your package to see you tonight. Now that line on the top of page 9 has got to go. That's kind of a cute line, but maybe clever is a better word. Let's see if I just settle on that or not. Joins the game, returns to the dating app. I think my thought here was it would be funny if she returned to the dating app and started just swiping on people on Holly's behalf. Let's see, is she going to deliver some pithy line? That's kind of not really a meaningless ending, but it would all depend what she was thinking. And I didn't write that in, so that was something that you would leave to the actress, I suppose. Okay, let's see. Guys have stayed friends. Just a go-karting guy friends or... All right. So really not much changed. Please tell me how much. So 11 is the kind of inciting incident / Rachel calls. Lexi gets sort of mad because she thinks she'd be too mature. Oh, I just thought of something. What I'm currently working on, February 13th, Super Bowl day, is when I'm recording this. And something in that scene made me think of something that I just wrote. But I can't tell you what it is. See, how does that work? As of today, you're legally free to make your own decisions. So this thing about turning 18 and being legally, empowered or whatever, is kind of something that might come back later. As I've said before, it's so arbitrary that, hey, you're 18, you can make all these decisions. It's just silly. I was talking to someone at work about that he's like 24, and he goes, man, when I turned 18, I was not an adult. And I realized his maturity in saying that. So this is kind of ebbing and flowing, which is good. Lexi is upset, so much for me making my own decisions. Nothing set in stone. Like in the horror films, it's always kind of, when you do one of those self-references, you always wonder how that's going to play. I wonder who the first person who ever did that was. Just think, in the early days, you couldn't say just like in the movies because there were no movies. I wonder how soon they started using that. It's an egg cracking. So this is, I think, a moment on the top of page 15, and I guess I realized this when I wrote it, but I'm just thinking about it now. Lexi has found out from Holly that she didn't think she would be mature enough, or whatever. So now she's going to go ahead and prove that she's going to take the initiative, and tells her to set things up, blah, blah, blah. I'm not talking. Oh, there's a microwave running in the background. Isn't that exciting? All right, let's see. As long as she has more answers than you. Oh, that was a pithy line, but I've changed it. Vote if you want me to change it back. I'll write an entire script based on input I get from people. Wouldn't that sound like how Hollywood would do it? Okay, just like that, she's ready to run. Okay, so again, I know I talked at length about this, and now that I think back to that voiceover, I made it sound like it was really deep and soul-searching and emotionally charged, trying to get kind of to the bottom of a character, or at least peel back some layers. So, I mean, I don't regret saying it. I don't know that I would say it again, but it is something I continue to work on, getting deeper into characters, and there may be some reading this that feel like I'm still barely scratching the surface. But whatever. I made her a little older so she could have some kids that were maybe even, teenagers or something. So Katina points out the dichotomy. And I've mentioned before the thing about giving minor characters some big lines, and because I had taken out McNeil's scene. But, I mean, Katina's in, 2 or 3 scenes, so she's not in a bunch. I mean, she could. I have half thought about bringing her back later, like Holly would call her, in distress. But I'm not sure if I'm going to do that or not. I'm just thinking about that out loud as I continue to write here. She could call her instead of Paul, or maybe she calls Paul and Paul poops out on her or says, hey, I'm not going to do this. And so she talks to Katina. I don't know. I have to give that some thought. All right, so I'm tweaking this. we. So I'm trying to set up what the expectation is for who's going to go down to see to potentially see her mom. It's funny how you have to go back. I've said it so many times, that old domino thing about one thing falls and then you got to go back and make a bunch of adjustments. You want to go with us to meet her. It'd be funny if I could I could open the real script and correct that right now. I was thinking I would go into the editing program and make that change, to the video editing. He's a pretty cool guy. You wanna, that's funny. I could open the real script and try to fix that right now. Let's do it as Holly coming. So now, maybe this is the first time I've written this bit. And what I'm going to try to do is kind of not parallel, because I haven't done anything in a super parallel scene ways, but that's what I was wondering. Did I mention I did some research on the car that a woman would have that men would find kind of cool, not necessarily sexy, but like, wow, she's pretty cool. She's got that car, and I landed on a Jeep Wrangler. And trust me, it does fulfill that. All right, let's see. Chaperone. I like this scene. But I don't know that it might bust the budget. I don't know if it'll fit here. Tear up the track. He's got me. I'll get used to it. So I'm trying something, and I guess I've already written this. I don't remember commenting on this about Jake's very forwardness about being 100% honest. Where's compliments from who? Luke, the wise guy. Jake, the more serious guy. There's the car. So she comes. Thou shalt not covet, Luke. So this is really the break into two. It turns into kind of not really a road trip or a buddy film, but it definitely takes them both out of their comfort zones to some extent. So you could, I think you could hopefully make a case. It's not big, but bold like the original Break Into Two when Holly got kidnapped or whatever happened to her. Lexi did. Sorry, Lexi did, and Holly left. But that sort of leaving, in retrospect, doesn't really feel proactive because she's leaving to go out into another story. But obviously, the audience has got to know that's not going to happen. So hopefully, this can also work. Okay. I don't think a whole lot is going to change in here. Boom, look at all that. I'm on page 118. Always cognizant that I don't want this more than probably 105 or 6 pages. Which is the Jeep grows smaller and smaller. That line about Jake works hard not to be impressed, that could be construed to mean impressed by Luke looking out the window, so that might need some fixing. This is more of that cutesy stuff, that Fuzzbuster line, not working for me. Yeah, so Lexi is, I mean, never seen this side of Holly really kind of well, I guess she's said it, so we can take it to the bank that maybe she's never seen this sort of casual, sporty side of her. Maybe Holly has always come off a little more professional, put together, and so now she's obviously wearing this leather jacket and a kind of a tank top or whatever. Not a tank top. I wonder if I should change that into something else. I forgot what it is. Crop top? I don't know that she would wear one. Well, let's see. I quit writing. Let me find out what's going on. Okay, we're back. A reason. Oh, that's right. Goofus and Gallant. Probably that's like a throwback. I don't know that. Well, Holly obviously knows about it. There's no way Lexi would, most likely. So I don't know that. I thought that was kind of funny, a little quirky, a little not really insight into Holly, but I thought it would be worth putting in there. Excuse me. How much has Abby told them about today? Agreed. Let's Gallant. Oh my gosh. I better fix that. Wow. Let's say Gallant. There we go. Whew. Maybe instead of humor me, Alexi should just ignore that and just go right on with her. If he was your boyfriend, how much would you tell him? There's a lot of ways to shorten dialogue. All right, so this is, man, this part here is in some form or fashion has been in the script for many months, well before this new version, new draft. Wonder if you really seriously rewrite a script like this, is it a draft or is it a version? It's almost like I'm working on another version, because a draft makes it seem like it doesn't fundamentally change. If it does, then it's a whole different version or a whole different take on it. Technically, I don't think it matters. Now I'm thinking, looking at good old Save the Cat and Save the Cat Strikes Back. This, of course, is the fun and games and the B story. And so I'm thinking, what is the B story? Is the B story Holly and Lexi's relationship, or is it going to be Lexi and Jake's relationship? Is it just going to be Holly and Hogan's relationship? It's a great question. It could be all of those. Oh, there we go. I forgot to look at the end again, but day 150, oh my gosh, 159 in the can. Thanks for tagging along. See you soon.